Hello fellow foragers, it's James here from Totally Wild UK, and today we're out hunting for wild mushrooms. We're going to be taking a closer look specifically at the Shaggy ScalyCap mushroom, specifically known as the Foliota squarosa. Funny names, Shaggy ScalyCap. All mushrooms seem like they've got these odd names. The Shaggy ScalyCap is a fascinating mushroom, commonly found in large, huge clusters at the base of living trees. But remember, it's not for culinary adventures. Some guides reference it as edible, others do it as toxic if consumed with alcohol. We consider it to be a non-eater. To safely identify the Shaggy ScalyCap, let's look at a bit more detail. We're going to be looking for some distinct features of it. The cap itself starts off rounded and flattens with age, often has a slightly in-rolled margin around the side where it turns in on itself. The cap and stem themselves are covered in those brown scales which become finer towards the base of the stem, giving it its name, the ScalyCap. The gills, they start off pale greyish yellow, mature into a more of like a rough cinnamon colour. They're classed as adnate and crowded, meaning that the gills connect straight to the stem when you cut it in half. When the mushroom is younger, the gills are covered with a cortina-like veil. This goes from the stem to the edge of the cap, and it actually protects the gills. But when the gills are ready to drop their spores or their seeds, that cortina will fall away, and you can sometimes see it on the older specimens. Just sat a little bit around the stem. Sometimes when spores fall, they'll grab on it. The spores are one of the key features for this mushroom. They're a rusty brown in colour, and it can be observed quite often on the caps of the other mushrooms underneath because they grow in such big clusters. You move the top mushroom, you can see that spore print on the other mushroom below it. The Shaggy ScalyCap typically emerges during autumn to late summer. Now let's talk about potential lookalikes. This is why we're looking at this one. It could, in theory, be confused with other Foliota species, which may have slightly different features, but quite often they look kind of similar. They're not to be worried about, we leave those anyway. The main mushroom that we don't want to confuse with this one is the edible mushroom called honey fungus. Amongst other features which make them different, the most obvious one and the main one is that honey fungus will produce a white spore print, and the Shaggy ScalyCap will produce a rusty brown spore print. It's a fantastic, striking visual key to the differences. While the Shaggy ScalyCap may not be on our dinner plate, it's an important one to know about, so let's grab our baskets, head out into the woodlands, and let's continue our foraging ventures together. That's it, happy foraging.